Hey, I think we're streaming in this video. I'm going to be talking about 7 tips for setting up your YouTube channel, for optimizing your YouTube channel so that you can get more views, get more subscribers, and ultimately build your income and impact with your YouTube channel. But hey, if you're just joining me and we're just meeting, my name is Cannell, and I'm a full-time YouTuber and lifestyle entrepreneur, and my passion is helping you build your income, influence, and impact with online video. And if you're watching this live, thanks so much for being here. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for being here too. What you can expect in this video is we have a dense training. I have some slides. I'm going to be sharing the screen with you and showing you some different training as we dive into really setting up your YouTube channel. And then if the video is kind of longer, it's because we did Q&A about halfway through. So the training should take about 20 minutes, and then we'll dive into Q&A and grab your questions in just a little bit. Ben2 Blogs, great to see you. Jason, thanks so much for being here. Jesse, Jonathan, Damien, thanks so much for being here, guys. We're going to dive right into the content. If you could share this out, that would be awesome. And let's charge right into it right now. All right, we're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about 7 tips for setting up your YouTube channel to get more views. So you're in the right place. If you've got a YouTube channel, or maybe you're thinking about starting one, this is the video you want to be on because it'll kind of help you set up your channel the right way. You know, avoid making some mistakes and some things like that. Hey, as we kick it off, sharing is caring. So can you spread the word about this training? Maybe you have a friend, maybe you know somebody who would love to, build their influence on YouTube, get better results on YouTube, and share this out. That would mean the world to me. Here's our mission today, ground control to Major Tom. Number 1, we're going to go through this training. I got 7 tips for you. Then I'm going to tell you about how you can get access to some additional free training that you'll love. And then we'll jump into Q&A as well towards the end of the video. So let's go. It's time to get your jet fuel ready, get your mind right, your hustle right, your grind on, and we're going to dive right in. So the first thing that we need to know is that your YouTube channel is your home base on YouTube. This is huge, right? Like your YouTube channel is like your website. Your channel homepage is like a website. In fact, sometimes, people say don't just build your influence on YouTube because what happens if YouTube goes away? But like one thing that I actually have not really paid a lot of attention to is a website really anywhere else. I kind of treat YouTube as my website, but whether you do that or not, it's still your home base. And another way I like to think about your YouTube channel is like a TV network. Your YouTube channel is kind of like CNN, CBS, Fox, A&E. Your YouTube channel has kind of a brand to it. Maybe it's Comedy Central if you create entertainment content. If you're Phil DeFranco, it's a news channel like CNN. So it kind of has a theme. And then your videos are the shows. So that's kind of how I like to think about my YouTube channel as we dive into this. And one thing to also note here is there actually is a new YouTube layout right now, and you can actually see it at any time you want. You just go to youtube.com/new, and it'll let you switch on the new channel layout. The cool thing is that these tips and principles are relevant either way. Like all 7 tips are still relevant, so you can get more views and subscribers from your YouTube channel, but there is the new YouTube channel rolling out, and it's not going to be... it's not fully out yet, but it's coming. So if you want to see that, this training is relevant for that new thing as well. All right, so let's dive into it. 7 tips. Tip number one is your YouTube channel name. This is the first thing that you want to think about. It's the name that goes right here. This isn't your URL. This is actually your YouTube channel name. So you can really 2 things to do here. The first one is it could be your name, like I have a channel. You can see it right here, actually. It says Sean Cannell. That is my name. It's a personal brand channel. Or it could be your brand name. So in the case of Video Influencers, a project that I work on with Benji Travis, it's a brand name. So it's usually one of the 2, or it could be a hybrid. It might be Cooking with Sean Cannell. You could kind of combine the 2. And one cool thing about this is you can actually change this later. So you might be wanting to do some rebranding, some thinking about this or switching this up, you can change that later if you want to, and you can update it. I don't recommend changing it very often or really ever at all, but if you do want to rebrand your channel, you can do it. And the reason you wouldn't want to change it too much is just because of SEO, like being found, search engine optimization, being found in search. You definitely want to come up with a good name and stick with it. Now, talking about custom URLs, as far as your channel name, this is where you could get a name like youtube.com/video influencers or youtube.com/thinkmediatv. If you have not done this yet, I encourage you to do this and sign up for that, because it's great for putting it out on social media. It's great for sharing. And there's a couple qualifications that you need to do that. But let me also take you into the Creator Studio. And I believe the way you get there is you go to channel. Now, this is kind of weird because I don't think I've even enabled my custom URL, but back in the Google Plus days, it was a little bit different. So I do have a custom URL and it's really confusing. But in your Creator Studio, if you go to channel and then you go to your custom URL, make sure you grab that if you haven't done it before. But the key thing to know here is that you need 100 subscribers. Your channel has to be at least 30 days old. You have to have uploaded a photo as your channel icon and channel art, and then you should be eligible to grab a custom URL. And I would really think about this. I mean, one other tip here is, if possible, I like to keep this as congruent across social media as possible. So we have like, there actually wasn't enough characters on Twitter. So we have like twitter.com/video influencer, no S, because it was the max characters. We have like video influencers on Instagram, video influencers on YouTube. And that's just kind of like some strategy. If I'm ever starting a new brand or something, I'm curious what URLs are available on social. So, okay, so that is tip number one. Tip number two is you want to have a custom avatar. Now, a ton of people make a mistake here, right? If your avatar right now is 2 letters, meaning you didn't upload a picture, it's like your first and last name, you need to update it. If your avatar is just nothing right now, update it. And a couple practical tips about this is if you're going to do a headshot for like a personal channel, consider your emotion. Like, are you fun loving? Is it something that invites people to join the channel? Then do that. Put a good picture and put some thought into it. Don't be 20 feet away from the camera because it's so small, people aren't going to be able to see it. And so put a great picture if you have like a personal brand, or you could do a logo. And so like for video influencers at Think Media TV, we have a logo. And another thing you do is you could do a hybrid. In fact, I'm probably going to be updating Think Media TV sometime to be like more of a picture of me, but then like having some graphics on it that says Think Media TV. But you want to update your avatar and make sure that this is not your channel cover, right? This is the avatar of your channel. It also shows up when you're commenting. And so consider that. Like when you show up in other people's comments on other channels, do you have kind of a magnetic attention-getting image or not? That's something to think about when it comes to your avatar. Tip number 3 is your cover image. And this kind of gets interesting because what you see here is the current video influencer's cover image. But what you'll typically see on the channel is just a wide view that kind of cuts through here. You're not going to see this other stuff. Now, the reason cover images look like this is because YouTube wants you to upload a cover image that'll work on multiple devices. So I put a link to this. It's not even something I designed, but it's in the YouTube description. And you can get this template. So what you can see is the safe area, right? Like this is what most people are going to see. And so that's even why on this last image, that's why you could see why strategically like our names are and our tagline is in a certain place, is because that's the safe area. It says your website links are going to appear here. And then it starts saying tablets will see this, a full desktop will see all the way across here. And then the big one is smart TVs. And so it's not probably doing anything at all. But for instance, one of the reasons why we put this little URL in here is like a little Easter egg for smart TVs. Like if you're on a smart TV, you'd be able to see this URL, but nobody would see that on tablets or phone or desktop. But think about the shot, the way it's set up. And this is also, we reverse engineered taking this photo with the thoughts of a cover image, right? Because we could crop in right here for what most people see, but we shot it a little bit bigger. And so again, download links to this and everything else I talk about is in the YouTube description, so that you could download this template to your computer, and then you could upload it to something like Photoshop or even free editing software like canva.com or PicMonkey, and then just stack on the elements that you want so they're in the safe area. And then a lot of times I also have to do some tweaking. I upload it and I'm like, it's not right. I move the text around. Even with the template, I usually have to do like 3 or 4 covers before it looks right. And so, all right, we're talking about 7 tips for getting more views from your channel. And here's what you should think about on your cover image. 1, consider doing a tagline. And this is also just a bigger kind of 30,000 foot level for your YouTube channel branding in general. Your tagline could be kind of clever, but it also could describe what's on the channel. So for us on Video Influencers, we say that like basically we're pitching what you're going to get on the channel. You're going to get interviews and training videos that'll help you build your influence, income, and impact with YouTube and online video. So our tagline is like helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video, but we kind of put it in a sentence. And so what is your sentence? And I would love to hear that in the live chat, or if you're watching on the replay in the YouTube comments. Do you have a tagline yet? I want to hear that from you. And again, we'll get into Q&A in just a bit. So thanks for hanging out here. And let me know your tagline though. Do you have one? Have you thought about it? What's the kind of like value proposition of your channel, right? What people can expect and why it should matter to them. You also could post your posting schedule. Now, because we haven't been faithful to a posting schedule, we haven't done this, but a lot of channels will say new videos every Tuesday at 5 p.m. or new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, or new videos every day. So you can let people know if you do have a posting schedule, what it is in that safe area. Another thing you could include is, I would say, powerful images. And what I mean by powerful images is images that illustrate the content of your channel, and I'll have an example of that in a second. Another idea is authority and credibility. A friend of mine was featured in a couple different places like Forbes and some other places, and she included like those quotes as seen in, those types of things. So depending if you're like an author, speaker, you want to build your kind of celebrity go-to expert authority or something, you could include some as seen on or some different things on your cover. And you also would want to potentially include a call to action. And that could be an arrow, because remember, your website's going to be right here. So let's say you wanted to give something away or have people go watch something. You could have like an arrow that says, get access to my free this or that. So you could include a call to action on there as well. So here's a full-size example of Think Media TV's current cover. And this is also what I mean by images. Again, really all you see in the cover is what's in here. And what I was trying to do with the images, I need to update this with the tagline and some other things. But I did want to almost let, pictures speak 1,000 words. So I figured if it's showing lighting, it's showing smartphones, headphones, it's showing gear, and showing me holding gear, which obviously is what this channel is mostly about, like helping you find the tools for creators, cameras, lighting, microphones. So what kind of images would show up, be good for your brand? And actually, let me give you another example that I did on my personal channel that I don't post a ton of stuff there, but I do post there from time to time. And so you could see here, like I wanted to show it's going to be about like me and my wife, Sonia, passionate about health kind of products with the green juice, and a little bit of product reviews since we say that, and then whatever. So product reviews, life hacks, kind of a 3, whatever. It's a couple ideas for you that you could apply to what you're doing as well. And so, okay, can you see this? All right, and then the Video Influencers full size, so you've seen that. We took a photo and put that all together. Okay, so that was your cover image. Now let's talk about your about page. Tip number 4 is your about page. And this is a chance for you to pitch your channel. Now keep this in mind, is that you want to keep the viewer in mind, right? And so what I mean is you should pitch, again, the value to the viewer in this particular case. And so a lot of times I think one of the biggest mistakes people make on YouTube is actually they kind of are self-focused as opposed to viewer focus. So they don't pitch things in terms of like how it'll add value to you. They're like, check out my channel for my random thoughts, my favorite things, and my point of view, which that might work. And depending on your level of influence, your status, again, that could work. But I think you always succeed most when you lead with how you're going to help others. So consider doing an about page, that talks about not only what you're doing on your channel, but why it matters to people. You also have a chance to let people get in touch with you. And then a power tip that you can do here is also include like a survey. And I'll show you what I mean. So on Think Media, this is actually the new channel layout right now. And so I'm actually going to go back to the old one, Restore Classic YouTube here. Not sure when that'll all switch over or whatever. So here's my description, and you can put some things in here. Thanks for checking this out. Introduce yourself on this channel. Here's what you're going to find: weekly tech, video gear, lighting, audio review tutorials, plus tips for creating videos, podcasts, YouTube, whatever. And then sign off. Now you have a place to do business inquiries. But the power tip was, and we're about to launch this, we're going to delete that email section, and we're going to include in the description a link to a survey to work with brands or podcast interviews or anything like that. And I learned this from my friend Sierra Schultze. And what's nice about it is you can force people to fill out more fields so you don't get as much spam. If you've put your business email out there, you've probably noticed a bunch of like weird MCMs contact you all the time. Maybe a lot of like not quality product reviews contact you. So we just actually want to give people a few more hoops to jump through. Like, what is it you're interested in? Do you have a budget if it's like a brand deal? Tell us more about the project, etc. And so then we could filter more quick, whether or not that would be something we would want to do. So fill out that about page. And I hope that if you're taking notes or anything, you write down a checklist looking at your own YouTube channel right now and thinking about how some things that would work for leveling up your YouTube channel, your own YouTube channel. All right. Tip number 5 is your website and your social media. And so connect your relevant, keyword, relevant social media accounts. I don't think you should connect an account just because you have it, because if it's not active or if it's not on brand, it might not really support it. And here's what I mean. If your Instagram is private, which sometimes people do that. I don't fully understand that. I get if you want to keep it private, but same thing. Like if your Instagram's private and you link it up to your YouTube channel, like why are you doing that? I mean, just think through some of those things. And I know some people, their YouTube channel might be about like how to build your business. But then on Instagram, it's just not even about business. Does that make sense? So I would say the social media accounts that you want to connect should just be relevant. I mean, if you're a personal brand, then whatever, it's all of them. But then the other thing is like, don't link to your Tumblr if you haven't posted on Tumblr in a long time. So this is probably one of the biggest opportunities for cleaning up inactive accounts and a big opportunity for cleaning up broken links. I see a lot of people that have broken links in their social media accounts, and I'll show you this live in a second. And then also connect your website or like a landing page where you could build your email list and maybe, give something away free and things like that. So right here, you got Google Plus. It kind of forces you to do Google Plus because, I mean, who's using Google Plus? We got Instagram, we got Twitter, Facebook, and then this is actually my website. So interestingly enough, too, and what it does on the website is it'll show your favicon. So I was able to customize my website. It's kind of cool, little blue play button. Takes you over to SeanCannell.com. But what right here is your main website. And I think your biggest opportunity right here, depending on what you're building, is to do something like this. So we talk about this all the time on Think Media TV. The newest edition is coming soon, by the way. And it links you over to our gear guide, which again gets people on our email newsletter, which is a place where we can give you insider tips, a summary of our weekly videos. And so again, it kind of just drives right onto our inner circle, our inner community, straight from that link. And the way you do this is you go over to your About page and you link everything up. And you could do it right here. And you could see, I think the reason that gear guide is big is because it's the first one. And then you've got the rest. And as you can see, I don't even have Google Plus here, but it kind of it forces it. Can I turn this off right here? Did I just fix it? I'm excited. Yeah, done. Even better. During the live channel training, we have cleaned up my channel, just like I would encourage you to do. So you got the guide, Instagram, whatever, and it links through, and it can get people to, again, relevant social media accounts. And so definitely link up your website and make sure, again, to fix any broken links or anything like that. Okay, tip number 6, and now we're getting these last two are where it really gets real. This is where really the real gets real. Whatever. Create a playlist. So now you want to start creating playlists, and playlists do a couple things. You can organize and categorize your videos. You should come up with value-driven titles. And then a power tip here is to think in video series as opposed to thinking in solo videos. So what I mean is I want you to actually be thinking on your content calendar, not just in one-off random videos, but in thinking in series and categories, because it really has a lot of power if you do that, and we'll explain some of those things. So you come to your playlists, and playlists are one of the most underutilized features by a lot of creators. And so what I mean is a couple things here. You might want to do something like, again, here's Social Media Marketing Tips and Tricks 2017, a value-driven title. If you want to grow in social media, this is the playlist for you, right? And you've got lots of videos that you can watch in the playlist. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people making is their playlists are usually just one word, and they'll say like travel. So you're like, okay, like what do you mean? Or they'll just say, 2016 fun. Well, now it's like old, and that's not even relevant or updated. And so your playlist titles should almost be as strategic, or they should be as strategic as your video titles. And the other thing is that as you're thinking through your content, one mistake I see people make is sometimes they make videos that are too big in scope, and they'll make a video that should, in my opinion, be like 4 videos. And if you put it in a playlist, you have the chance to kind of create more watch time, do a bunch of things. But for this video and this training, we're talking about playlists for the organization of your channel. So we'll do a future video deep diving on playlists. And actually, let me know right now in the live chat or on the replay in the comments, how's your playlist game? Is it updated? You got good playlists? Do they have good titles? Let me give you a couple rapid fire best practices here. Make sure to upload a description. A lot of people miss the description. And one thing about playlists is they can rank in search. That's what's really cool. So just like videos can be found in search, so can playlists. So one example, like here's just headphones, or all headphones that are under $100 actually, right? And that one doesn't have a description, bad example. Let's do, obviously in tech here, you can see organizing different things, best microphones, videos with tips on the best budget and best all around mics for YouTube. And then the different microphone videos. So how's your playlist game? Is it good? Do you need to work on it? Is it updated? Is it going? Is it happening? Let me know. And let's jump into the next tip. Actually, Ludo says I should make separate playlists for my evolution episodes. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities of playlists, and definitely if you're not subscribed here to Think Media TV, we'll be doing future training and go deeper dive on playlists. Embracing Wellness says need to work on it. Sounds good. That's what we're talking about, so I'm glad you're here. And let's keep going. All right. Drum roll, please, because tip number 7 is where your channel comes together. So far, we've just been checking the box on tips on channels. And again, we'll get into Q&A in just a second. But tip number 7 is optimize your homepage. This is where your channel comes to life. And so here's some things to think about. This is where you can upload your channel trailer. Also, we'll leave that for a future video, a dedicated video talking about a good channel trailer. You also could do your featured channels. This is if you have more than one channel or you want to feature friends. and other channels. You could do a featured video. A lot of people don't know about that. You can highlight a video that you want kind of pinned. People are already subscribed, but it's what they see sort of at the top of your channel. And then you also, this is where playlists come together and really start to work. So now we've updated our cover, we have our avatar, we have our channel name, we've done our about page, we've created some playlists, and so now we can actually update our homepage. So a couple things. Number one, your new visitors, this is where your channel trailer would be, and you can change your trailer, you can remove it. Video influencers, I think, is a great example of a channel trailer. Think Media does not have one yet, so probably about the time that I make one, then I'll probably make a video about how what my thinking was of it. But video influencers is a pretty solid example, I think, of a good channel trailer that you could check out there. And then here's the 4 returning subscribers. So this is cool. See, right? This is your featured content place, and you could do your latest upload, or you could delete this and edit it, change some things around. And you can even put some text, like this is custom. It's just like a little sentence that sort of pitches this video. And that is a cool featured place, right? So that is there. So you have your channel trailer, you have your kind of featured content, and then the playlists start. So what these are is these are playlists. And what you can do is you can go on your channel, you can add a section, and you could say, I want to do a single playlist, and I want it to be in my playlist. And what I want to put on here is I want to do my best headphones review and gear. And see, now a new section is added to your homepage, and then you could move it up or down. It's not working for some reason. Let me refresh here. And if I wanted this one a little bit higher, then that can go up or down, etc. And a lot of cool things you could do here. So some best practices, I've seen some people, their first playlist is like, watch this first, or they'll put like top Think Media TV videos. In this case, it's just popular uploads. These are going to be your most viewed content. You can just do your latest uploads so that people just come to the channel, see the newest stuff. And so that's where you start to build out your channel homepage. And so let me ask you, how's your channel homepage doing? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the YouTube comments if you're on the replay. And Ginger says, I think I have too many playlists. What is too much? I don't think you need to worry about having too many playlists in your playlist section. But I think your homepage should not be overwhelming. You don't want to give people too many options. So think about the user experience, and think about like Netflix, right? Netflix kind of has a user interface. Hulu does, where it's like kind of showing you different thumbnails and considering and recommending content. And so you could get really creative there. Chance says my homepage is trash. Mine sucks, Rocket Gaming. Well, good. That's why we're doing this video. And that's actually good, exciting news, because these tips are to help you get your channel ready. And what's powerful again about this is, how does this drive more views? Well, when people can begin finding your content, checking out, they might find one of your videos in search, but then they go to your channel page. You want them to be able to find your best stuff. You want to lead with your best stuff. You want to lead with your best videos, and driving more watch time. The most important thing to YouTube right now is not views. The most important thing to YouTube right now is not subscribers. It's not how many comments your videos get. The most important thing, 100x more important than everything else, is watch time. Minutes matter most. And if you go into your YouTube analytics, you'll see that the top analytic is minutes, the second one is views, and the third one is subscribers. YouTube wants longer watch time. So when you start using playlists right and you start optimizing your channel, you can drive up the watch time and total time people stay on your channel, and YouTube will reward you for it. You'll get more channel authority, your videos will rank in search more, and you'll ultimately have a greater impact with your channel. Peter says, total minutes or percent of video watched? It's a great question, Peter. The answer is total minutes. So YouTube's less concerned if somebody watches 100% of a 3-minute video, because that's 3 minutes, as opposed to if somebody watches 10% of an hour-long video, they still watch 10 minutes. Now, both is better, Peter, right? But total minutes. And the reason why is because YouTube is competing with TV. They want to tell advertisers, look, people don't just come to YouTube to consume a 60-minute viral cat video and then bounce. They come to YouTube to consume depth, to hang out, to really get substance. And so watch time matters. And if you can get higher watch time, YouTube will reward you. That's kind of why live streaming has a benefit to you. That's why daily uploads like vlogging can, if you get traffic and people watch your stuff, is a benefit. That's why gaming has kind of taken over YouTube, because a lot of gameplay and videos can have people watching for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And so it's so much watch time. So what you want to ask is, how can you increase your watch time? But hey, I have a few more tips for you, and then we'll jump into Q&A and keep crushing and smashing some of these things. So make sure to work on optimizing your homepage, right? Your channel homepage. That's like your home base. That's really where the magic happens. Get your featured channels. I realized I didn't really show you that. So over here, we feature our other channel video influencers, plus my channel, Sean Cannell. Makes sense. It's like kind of a second channel for me. There's my old video production channel over here on the right, Sean Cannell Productions. And so you could do featured channels. The related channels, it just auto-populates, I guess. You could disable it if you want, but come on, show love to your friends and the people who are related to you. And yes, so let's dive into, let's keep going. All right, featured videos, your playlists. But hey, if you, really quick before Q&A, if you're enjoying this, I know a lot of people in the Think Media TV have already had a chance to attend this free masterclass. But if you haven't seen this yet and you want more training like this, there's for limited time. And again, one of my passions, right, is none of this like false scarcity stuff on the internet. We've kept this up for a few weeks, and we just kind of have been leaving it up because we've been giving such great feedback. But this masterclass is coming down soon, because actually the good news is we actually have a new one coming up soon. We're working on some new content. It's going to be happening at the beginning of next month, depending on when you're watching this. But this particular one is going to be gone forever. It's actually just going to go into like our membership course area and things like that. So if you have not seen learnyoutubetoday.com yet, definitely check it out. There's a link in the description below and on the YouTube card that you can click over to watch it. And I go through my 5 specific strategies for quickly growing your audience. This is actually what we did and how we had this huge growth spurt. Grew over 100,000 subscribers in less than a year. And I reveal like the 5 things I did to trigger that kind of growth and share that. And then we also talk about the 3 best ways to make $1,000 plus per month, even if you have a small audience, you're just starting out. And then also the #1 secret you need to know to succeed on YouTube this year. So that's at learnyoutubetoday.com. Again, the link is in the description below. And if you enjoyed this training, tweet me. Couple things. Let me know on a scale from 1 to 10 if this training was good. We always want to get better. I always want to level up what we're doing. I want to make sure it's adding value. So let me know if you got any value, what your biggest takeaway was from this over on Twitter. Tweet me. And if you have any ideas for future deep dive trainings like this, a topic you'd like me to cover or something like that, tweet me over at Sean Cannell on Twitter. And yes, that is the Twitter bird riding on a rocket ship. My friends, there may not be any other YouTube channel that has this graphic. It's pretty special. And that Twitter bird is got some jet fuel going on, because that's what it's like when we're live. We got that jet fuel, we got that fire, we got that hustle, we got that grind. I think we're ready for Q&A. So my team is helping me. I've got a doc here, and we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube, channel growth questions, and then we'll talk about some maybe gear questions and general questions. But for this, let's generally talk about YouTube tips. And again, if you know anybody that would love to see this, can you share it out and spread the love? All right, let's dive into Q&A so we can level up your views, your influence, your subscribers, your impact. Chance says, how do you set up a nice cover image like that? Well, Chance, like on my cover images particularly, I think one thing that every YouTuber should think about is photography. Because even if you're making videos, the principles of making good videos is also kind of the similar shot composition, good photos, good lighting. And I think one of the foundations that you need for also promoting your channel on social media, as well as say your YouTube cover, even your avatar, is photography. Now, I don't think that has to be intimidating. Most smartphones have the power to produce good photos, but you still need the skills to get the good photos out of them. The time of day, the lighting, some different things. So one of the best things I'd recommend is either watching a ton of free content on leveling up your photography skills, or to going to a site like Skillshare.com. I think we're actually going to be working with them. It's a cool site that hooks you up with a lot of courses. You might invest. They actually have a membership, but you might invest $10 or $20 on a course on how to take like brilliant iPhone photography. I really want to recommend that for everybody in the Think Media community because it affects everything. It affects your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, your thumbnails. Good photography. The second thing is just practice. And a site like Canva.com, Canva.com, free design software site. You can put together great images on there. So just get on there and play around, watch a few free YouTube videos. And probably the third tip for making like a nice cover image is this sounds funny because if you look at my cover, you probably couldn't go to somebody else's cover and be like, Sean copied that. But one of my favorite quotes was by Pablo Picasso and echoed by Steve Jobs and many people. It said, good artists copy, great artists steal. And so here's what I mean by that. I don't think you should plagiarize and copy what somebody else has done. But what I like to do is find somebody who has a cover that I like. And I might even like upload that to Canva because I'm like, where their body is and where their tagline is and where their name is, like, why reinvent the wheel? And I mean, like, for instance, if you did that on my content, it's good with me. Like if you took our video influencers cover, you know what I mean? And like if you wanted, like, let's take the photo. I mean, and if you took the photo, it's going to look different. Your tagline's different. You know what I mean? So I don't like to do the heavy lifting. I think the shortcut is to say who has done a YouTube cover well, where'd they put the elements, and just swap in your elements, mix it up. Of course, your own colors, your own look. And by the time you do that, your setup is going to be completely unique and original. But in a way, you're using them as a template, right, to be the base of what you're doing. So I think that could help. Izog says, how often do you update your homepage? I would say at least quarterly. I think that all of us should do evaluations of our YouTube channel quarterly. And here's a couple other things that I like to do, for instance, is I like to go just say into your analytics and I like to look at this. I'll show you this. So right here is one of the lowest hanging fruit of your content is you go into your analytics and you go to your top 10 videos. I like to re-optimize these. Make sure the descriptions are good. Make sure the cards are good. Because we upload a ton of videos, but yet it's a handful that get the most views on your channel. You know, like this video got 54,000 views, which is great for us. But you know, if you're on Think Media, you see like we might get 5,000. So like this video is a year old and it's like single-handedly, you know, generating so much traffic. And that's typical for a lot of YouTube channels. Some of your videos end up getting a lot of views. So I like to go in quarterly and say, what are the top 10? Can I update the descriptions? Can I add some new YouTube cards? And so similarly to your channel, I'd say at least once a quarter. How often do I maybe like do a full rebrand? Maybe every couple years, maybe small tweaks to the branding, an updated cover or something. And then the other thing about your homepage is you can just do like small tweaks to your homepage. And meaning like recently we did NAB, which is a tech show in Vegas, right? And we had the NAB playlist right here. I think I've just been messing around here lately, and I think I recently changed it to like YouTube tips or something. So NAB is over now. It's I might leave it up here for a while. Eventually I might take it down. So it's kind of like a time-based playlist as far as the playlist itself. and then I might reset to just basic stuff and mess around with it, just like small tweaks. So some of those don't have to take a ton of time. Guys, thanks so much for the question. Keep posting them, and hope you're doing well. Channel growth questions. Clash Production says, I have a question. If you're a small YouTuber, can you still grow on YouTube due to the algorithm changes? Yeah, absolutely. I think that certain seasons are more advantageous for anything than other seasons. Would it be better to have started your YouTube channel in 2007 than now? Yeah. When's the second? Like, I've heard this. One of my favorite quotes is like, when is the best time to start a YouTube channel? Answer, 2005. When is the second best time to start a YouTube channel? Answer, today, right? Like, so I would just say, just don't worry too much about what if, and you just have to hustle. You got, put in the work hard. But I will say this, Clash Productions, is that in the few years ago, I think YouTube, if you I compare it to chess and checkers. A few years ago, if you were playing checkers, a little simpler of a game, you could win. You just had to do a few best practices, do them consistently, and you could win on YouTube. I think to succeed on YouTube today, in the day we're living in, you need to be playing chess. What does that mean? You need better strategy, not just hustle, not just putting in the work, not just even skill or talent, not just best practices, but a cohesive strategy. And that's one of my passions, is to help people with strategy, not just tactics, like a good thumbnail and a good, there's, shared on this new social media platform. Those are all just tactics, and tactics alone will never get you success. You need a cohesive, rock solid strategy, and you always want to be working on your strategy and being strategic. That's why I think the people who are playing chess on YouTube right now are the ones that are winning. And again, we go a little bit deeper into strategic YouTube thinking in that masterclass. LearnYouTubeToday.com, link in the description below, if you want some help developing a strategy for your YouTube channel. Yusuf says, how many videos do you think I should have ready before I start posting to my YouTube channel? I mean, it might be nice to get 4 videos ahead, so then you could do one a week for 4 weeks, but have them all done ahead of time to give you a little margin. Some advice I've heard is like even 10 or 20, because then it gives you a ton of margin to be ahead so that you can launch right. But also, I want to encourage you, done is better than perfect. Get your video out there. I was talking to somebody recently. He finally was like, okay, I'm going to start my YouTube channel. And I was like, when? How about tomorrow? And he is like, what? Well, I was thinking in a couple weeks because I'm so busy. And I was like, yeah, if it's a couple weeks, then it'll probably be a couple months, bro. And then next thing you know, it's next year. So my question is, I just think get it out there. I think get it out there and learn as you go. Yeah, be strategic, but especially when you're just starting, you learn so much by doing, even more than you could ever learn in a video like this. You can learn a lot of information in a video like this, but you experience a lot of transformation when you actually do application of the principles on your YouTube channel. Well, what if I make mistakes? Exactly. You'll make a ton of mistakes, but you learn so much in the process of doing. Well, what if my videos aren't very good? Listen to this. We're about to release some new videos on Think Media TV. The audio is not quite perfect. A lot of times it's not perfect. A lot of times the lighting's not perfect. The haters are vocal about that. But done is better than perfect. But even the recent ones, we were shooting with a new Sony camera. Our mic was set up based on how we used to use it for Canon. It's a little bit off. And I'm like, we got to just put it out. Life's too short. We took a day to shoot these. They're good enough. The content value is still there. And hey, if you see those videos, please show me mercy. The audio is just slightly blown out on those that are coming out soon. But we're putting them out anyways. Yusuf also asked, do you think that shorter videos will increase following and watch time? I think that good videos will increase your following and watch time. I think that quality matters most, short or long. Now, the new principle is that longer videos are actually more beneficial to your YouTube channel than shorter videos. But shorter videos are good as well. But quality matters, I think, most. Here's also a key on YouTube. Content value is more important than production value. So really focus on the content itself. Don't get too worried. Coming from the guy who talks about lighting and camera and mics and stuff, still, production matters, but content value matters so much more than production value. And so really focus on just putting out good quality content. Experiment with short, experiment with long, and you'll do great. Want to give a shout out to Gail in the super chat. Thank you so much. And if you do want to get your question boosted to the front and you want to get it answered and make sure it gets answered, jump into super chat for any amount. And Gail asked a good question. How do you choose the best keywords for your channel? And let me jump into that, Gail, really quick and show you the keywords of my channel. Don't steal them. Just kidding. I don't think that would help anybody. The way you get there is kind of unique. If I know how to get there. Hang on one second here. So just like your video has keywords, your channel also has keywords. And to get to your channel keywords, you're going to want to go to your Creator Studio. You're going to want to go to, I found it. You're going to want to go to Channel, Creator Studio, Channel, Advanced, and then you could put channel keywords in here. I think a couple keys is that these are just going to be helpful keywords for YouTube kind of knowing what your channel is all about. So some of the things to think about, the process of picking your keywords, Gail, is actually good in the sense of focusing your YouTube channel overall. So here's what I would tell somebody. If someone said, here's my channel keywords. So let me define this. These are the phrases and the search terms that you would put on your channel, just like you'd put it in your videos. And so what you should do is if your channel keywords were food, beauty, cameras, and gaming, you have a problem, in my opinion. Because again, if you try to reach everybody, you end up reaching nobody. Content's all over the place. So you want your channel keywords to be stacking on the same idea and the same theme is tip number one. Tip number two is I would go for longer tags for your channel keywords rather than shorter keywords. So for instance, I said tech review channel. And here's where I get my keywords, by the way. I go here, I go tech review channel. So like that is a actual search term. So it becomes a keyword. DSLR video tips. See, a little more specific. Smartphone accessories. I don't think I have any one word keywords. Best lighting for YouTube videos. Camera review channels, because mine is a camera review channel, right? So that's a few tips, I think, on picking out your channel keywords, and where I find them is from the YouTube search bar. The super chat is going crazy. Bam, bam. We have Skrizzle Axe, $5. Thank you so much. How many videos do you have in a series playlist max? Love this stuff. Keep up the good work. Well, Skizzle, you best practice, and ironically, my friend Tim just released a playlist video today. He had a good tip about that, and that was you shouldn't put too many videos in a playlist because it could be intimidating. Think about your own behavior. If you click through on a playlist and you see that there's 100 videos in it, you're like, okay, no, I'm never going to get through those. So, 5 to 10, keeping it like consumable and keeping it, if that makes sense. I thought that was a great tip that Tim shared. I also think you said a series playlist. I'm not sure if there's a limit in a series playlists, and I won't dive into what that is here. I'll dive into that in a future playlist video. But yeah, I think keep it less is more. Keep it consumable. But now, saying that, a friend of mine has got a great channel. It's called Miguel Ogos. If you're a video producer, an audio producer out there, he's doing a lot of like synths and like how to do the different software that make that audio production software. He's going to probably do some videos that are like how to mix one drum, like how to mix drums, but one video would be like how to tune a snare. So that video might have like, that playlist might have 100 videos in it because it's the snare and it's the kick drum and it's the this. And so it does have relevancy depending on certain topics for more videos in the playlist. But yeah, 5 to 10 would probably be best practice. Jazzy Puppet says, what's the best length of a video? Jazzy, I would suggest that the best length of the video should be as long as it needs to be, but as short as possible. Got it? So I think that if the video could be 5 minutes, but you make it 10, you're wasting people's time. If it's boring, right? It's just 5 minutes of wasted time. However, if it needs to be 10 minutes, make it 10 minutes. Furthermore, if it needs to be 20, make it 20, because more minutes is favored by YouTube. Minutes matter most. The key is keeping the quality high. And so I'm sure, and I'm trying my best at this, when I look for tech reviews, I actually look at like the 3 top tech reviews and I look at how long they are. I want it to be as short as possible. My hope is that, they get to all the points. Now, sometimes I'll review a camera and it's 18 minutes long, but I'm packing it. I'm showing example footage. I mean, I'm packing it with stuff. Not everyone's going to want to watch all that, but like, it's not just wasting time or just repeating things. It's like going through different things of depth on that subject. So the punchline though, tech tips, and thank you so much for the super chat, is as long, as short as it can be, as long as it needs to be, but as short as possible. And so people's attention can stay on it and whatnot. Hey, if you're just joining, we're talking about tips for your YouTube channel, questions coming in. Thanks so much for your questions. And let's keep grinding on some of these. Everything Junior says, will you be uploading this video as well? The answer is yes. This video will be on replay. Video Media TV says, what is better, 1 longer video or 2 shorter videos? Good question. I think 2 shorter videos is better, if it's because then they could be put into a series. So while you could do longer form videos that include a lot of things, let me give you an example. I teach YouTube tips. So rather than making a video about, like, say, all the YouTube equipment, you could make a video about first pick out your camera and you should think about these things. And then the next video in the playlist could be, now let's talk about lighting. And then the next video in the playlist could be, okay, now let's think about microphones. So if you consider that for what you're doing, how could you serialize, think of your video content in a series and then put it in a playlist and then share the content that way? So again, the watch time could continue so long as people finish one video and they can move on to the next video. What's also nice is that's more opportunities to rank in search, and that's where the big opportunity is. Most of the time, you can only rank a video in search, 1 title, 1 keyword phrase, 1 video. It's hard. You can't really rank for best microphone for YouTube and best camera for YouTube. Got it? Because someone's just looking for a mic. So you're trying to be, it's like 2 different directions. But you could serve just the mic question and just the YouTube question. So again, in your niche, 1 video kind of per question, series of videos put into a playlist to serve those different questions. But then every video, if it ranks, is kind of like an entry point to people getting to know you. You have more, kind of, if you will, if you were fishing, the fishing analogy is rather than just having like 1 pole going out into the ocean, you could have 10 poles all in different places, and therefore you're increasing the likelihood of being discovered or things like that. And again, for more content on that, if you haven't watched the Learn YouTube Today Masterclass, check that out. Link in the description below. Talks more about ranking, which is very, very, very powerful. Audrey says, I love what I do on YouTube, Disneyland vlogs, awesome. But I worry if it's too small of an audience to get really big. What would you suggest to a small niche to grow big? I think that small is the new big. And I think that you should start small before you get big. So I think that what we fear is being too narrow, whereas in actuality, most people are too broad. So I think Disneyland vlogs is amazing. I think what I might expand on though is, and this would be, it's up to you. Obviously, it's your channel. But what I might do is, if it's just vlogs, meaning like it's you talking, etc., that's like one kind of content. But what I would love to see, and there might be a few of these out there, but I would love to see like Disneyland secrets. And one video could be around 1 search term. I'd love to see, because there's tons, right? I don't know them. I know there's so many nuances. Secrets. And here's, like, that's another good example of like 1 long video or multiple short videos. What if you do a cool video that reveals everything about Space Mountain, and it's just a Space Mountain video. Well, then that video can rank the secrets of Space Mountain, the tips of Space Mountain, them watching you ride on Space Mountain on an action camera. I mean, the depth of Disneyland is unending. So it's definitely not too small. And also the interest of people in Disneyland is also not too small. But I think thinking about, I mean, off the top of my head, I personally, not even being the biggest Disneyland fan, loving Disneyland though, could come up with like 100 video ideas about Disneyland. So I may be thinking about it a little bit different, could help. But yeah, no, I think that's a great niche. Maybe refine the concept a bit. Philip says, question, I've rewatched minutes. If a video is watched more than once by the same viewer, do those minutes still count? Yeah, they do. So if you go into your watch time, you'll see also these spikes too, like in different places. That's them skipping, but it's all minutes. YouTube wants people on there. They want the minutes. They want the consumption. So get the minutes. Hey, we have just a few more moments for questions, but I want to remind you to tweet me. Tweet me what you thought about this training, if you got value out of it. I'd love to hear your creative ideas for future trainings like this one. Also, today's live broadcast is brought to you by LearnYouTubeToday.com, our free masterclass that's only available for a little while longer. Link in the description below. If you want more training like this, go check that out. It's totally free, but again, not false scarcity. It probably has a few days left, at the most a week or two, and then it's gone forever. So while it's free, get access to it. Tweet me, and could you spread the love? I know the replay of this will be available, so sharing is caring, and we can grab a couple more questions here. Ginger Lola Doll Shows and Crafts. I read that's not good to change anything on older videos because it'll rank lower or not even rank for YouTube. So couple things. Number one, if you change your title, it gets re-indexed by YouTube. So if you have like a great ranking video and you change the title, you could ruin your great ranking video. However, you can change your thumbnails without changing anything. You could change your description, and you could change your tags, and it won't re-index. It'll just add to what's currently there. So I think re-optimizing your old videos, especially the best of your old videos, and especially updating your old thumbnails, has a lot of value to it. However, even beyond that, if the video has completely plateaued, like it just is not ranking, it's not getting any views, you can't hurt it. All you can actually do is help it. So if you reposition it with a better title and re-optimize it, you have a lot of opportunities there, I think, to optimize your old videos. Super chat, a pirate in training, that deserves a spin. And thank you so much. The question is, I have a channel that shows my recovery from amputation. Any tips on how to increase my subs? My biggest question is, or my biggest thought is, again, if you have not seen LearnYouTubeToday.com, check it out. And my biggest tip, let me open something up here. Right off the top here, is to always, and this is true for every channel, is to look at the video ideas that YouTube predicts of what people are interested in. And so right here, when I type this in, right, we have amputation story. Right here, we have surgery recovery. These are like your lowest hanging video ideas. And so if you have not made these videos yet, these are what people are searching for. So people are interested. So I would ask yourself, like, what are the key questions that your audience is asking? And how could you, and then create videos around those that serve, this is key, that serve the intent of the person asking the question. So if they want to see an amputation story, then they just want to see an amputation story. But if they, maybe there's one that says young doctor's notebook on it. Now, maybe if you're sharing tips, or you're sharing advice about life or coping, or you're sharing anything at all, then align the intent of the video around the title and get everything lined up. But again, for more depth on that concept, check out the masterclass, why it's still a why it's still public. All right, last question. Peter says, let's say someone has changed their channel. Their content is amazing. What should they do to spread their channel so that it can best grow? Peter says, okay, so what you want to do is you're saying they have a channel. Their content is amazing. What's the best way for it to grow? It's a pretty broad question. To that, it's a good question to potentially end on, is dive into the playlists on Think Media TV that talk about YouTube channel growth tips. Those are my best tips, right? So I would agree with you though. I mean, you're saying your content's great, your channel's amazing. And I do agree that in social media, on YouTube, content is king. Like, content matters most. It's the most important thing. You need good content. But content is king, but marketing is queen, and she runs the household. So it's not just about having good content. It's about knowing marketing, optimization, video SEO, titles, YouTube strategy, strategic marketing, positioning, writing trends, all these topics. Definitely probably too much to go into here. But the two resources that I would recommend is check out the playlists on Think Media about YouTube tips. And so there's playlists like how to grow your YouTube channel. And then also check out our channel that I have with Benji called Video Influencers. And that's really about, everything so that you could grow. Again, you've got the content, but what are the tips to get your channel to grow? How can you stay consistent? What are the tips for getting people to subscribe, etc., right? Lots of depth there. So thank you so much for the question. Thank you everybody for hanging out today. Appreciate you so much. Can you do me a favor? When this video comes down, the live chat goes away forever. So it's a bummer. And it's sad, it disappears. So I would love it if you would want to come back to the replay, leave a comment. That's also a great place to, if you have any video ideas, any questions, definitely tweet me out. I would love to know on a scale from 1 to 10 if you value this training, if you have future ideas of other trainings. Flight Path, thanks for being here. Pirate in Training, thanks so much for being here. Ryan, Fortune Travel Adventures, thanks for hanging out. Val's Life Health Journey, thanks so much for being here. My Twitter, again, is at Sean Cannell. A lot of people say Cannell. Whatever. It's all good. I'll show it. I'll throw it up here because who can spell that? A lot of people in the YouTube comments spell it S-H-A-W-N, S-H-A-U-N. Cool Sean spellings, but not how my name's spelled, S-E-A-N-C-A-N-N-E-L-L. If you want to send me a tweet about your feedback or if you have any video ideas, would appreciate that. If you can, come back, leave a comment on this. Remember, sharing is caring. Spread the word. Maybe you have somebody that wants to go further, faster in media. Tell them about Think Media TV. Cotton Candy All-Stars, thanks for being here. JQ Vlogs, appreciate you. Pedro, thank you. 808 Dre Beats, thank you for hanging out. Aaron Clifton, thank you so much. Ludo Clack, thanks for hanging out. Keep crushing it, guys. Keep smashing it. And remember, Think Media TV is helping you go further, faster in media. And we will talk soon.